remembering those that perished on the sinking of the RMS Titanic on April 15, 1912. The information provided was obtained and used from findagrave.com. This video contains passengers with the last name starting with O. The remaining passengers will follow shortly. Thomas O'Brien, age 26, born in Ireland. He secretly got married and his wife was pregnant. They booked on the Cermak, but due to the coal strike, they were transferred to the Titanic. They were traveling to Illinois. Thomas's wife survived, but he did not. Their child was born in September, that same year, following Thomas's death. The next victim is Dennis O'Brien, age 22, born in Ireland. His occupation was listed as a postman and he also was a renowned jockey, winning numerous races. Dennis perished in the sinking. The next victim is Patrick Dennis O'Connell, age 18, born in Ireland. He was well off, as his family owned a pub and a farm. Patrick boarded the Titanic along with his cousin and several other people. His cousin survived the sinking, but Patrick did not. He left behind his dog with his family. They reported that the dog mournfully barked and howled all night, during the time the Titanic was sinking. The next victim is Patrick O'Connor, age 23, born in Ireland. He boarded the Titanic along with his cousin and several other people. Patrick's cousin survived, but he did not. The next victim is Maurice O'Connor, age 15, born in Ireland. He was traveling to meet his brother in America. Maurice perished in the sinking. The next victim is Nils Martin Odell, age 23, born in Sweden. His occupation was listed as an agricultural inspector. Nils was traveling to Illinois to further his career. He was a third-class passenger and his body was never recovered. The next victim is William John O'Doherty, age 22, born in Ireland. He bought his ticket from another gentleman. William perished in the sinking and was listed under that man's name. His cenotaph is located in Ireland. The next victim is Arthur O'Keefe, age 44, born in New Jersey. He ran a grocery store with his mother and sister. Arthur's mother had passed away the previous year. He was a third-class passenger and he perished in the sinking. Arthur's body was recovered by the Olympic and was buried at sea. Arthur is included on a cenotaph for the numerous New Jersey passengers that perished in the sinking. It is located in New Jersey and his date of birth is incorrect on the headstone. He was born in 1867. The next victim is Henry Olsen, age 28, born in Norway. He was married and had 2 children. Henry had to borrow money and was traveling to New York to study for his engineer's exam. He was a third-class passenger and was accompanied by 2 other gentlemen. They all perished in the sinking. Henry's body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 173. He was buried at sea on April 24, 1912. Henry's effects were returned to his widow. The next victim is Carl Sigurd Andreas Olsen, age 42, born in Norway. He boarded the Titanic with his son and was accompanied by another gentleman. They were third-class passengers and was traveling to New York. After the collision, Carl carried his son to the lifeboat. Carl perished in the sinking and his body was never recovered. The next victim is Ole Martin Olsen, age 27, born in South Dakota. His occupation was listed as a general laborer. Ole was a third-class passenger and was traveling to Canada. His body was never recovered. The next victim is Alida Olsen, age 31, born in Sweden. Her occupation was listed as a maid and she was traveling to Minnesota where her brother resided. Alida boarded the Titanic along with her fiancé. They were third-class passengers. The next victim is Nils Johan Göransson Olsen, age 28, born in Sweden. He boarded the Titanic as a third-class passenger. Nils perished in the sinking, and his body was never recovered. The next victim is Thor Andersen Alsvigen, age 20, born in Norway. He was traveling to Wisconsin and was a third-class passenger. Thor's body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 89. He was buried at sea and his belongings were returned to his parents. Thor's hair was light and he was wearing a dark suit with black socks and boots. Effects were a gold watch and chain. He had a pocketbook with $20 in notes and papers. Thor was carrying a bundle of photos, a knife, comb, a purse and chain with $4.50 along with a pocket knife. The next victim is the Oreskovic family. Jelka Oreskovic, age 30. Luka Oreskovic, age 20. Maria Oreskovic, age 19. They were all from Croatia and their occupations were listed as farmers. The family was traveling to Illinois and were third-class passengers. All three perished in the sinking and their bodies, if recovered, were never identified. The next victim is Olaf Martin Olsen, age 27, born in South Dakota. He was married and had been visiting relatives in Norway. Olaf was a third-class passenger and his body, if recovered, was never identified. The next victim is Engelhart Cornelius Osby, age 64, born in Norway. His occupation was listed as a manufacturing jeweler. He was a first-class passenger and was traveling to Rhode Island. Engelhart's body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 234. He was buried in Rhode Island. The next victim is Bridget Mary O'Sullivan, age 21, born in Ireland. She was traveling to New York where her two sisters resided and was accompanied by her boyfriend. They both perished in the sinking. The next victim is Richard Otter, age 38, born in England. He was a quarryman by trade. He boarded the Titanic as a second-class passenger. Richard's body was never recovered. His cenotaph is located in England. Richard is remembered on his wife and son's headstone in Ohio. The next victim is Servando José Florentino Ovis y Rodríguez, age 36, born in Spain. He worked for the family firm of Rodríguez and Company, an import business. He was married and had one son. Servando boarded the Titanic and was a first-class passenger. His body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 189. Servando was identified by family members and was initially buried at the Fairview Cemetery. On May 3, 1912, his body was exhumed and reburied in the Catholic Mount Olivet Cemetery on May 15, 1912. His wife filed a claim for $75,000 for the loss of his life and additional $28,000 for the loss of property. If you like this content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel at MeTime806. Thank you very much.